Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Before we kick off today's video, I would like to quickly apologize. I did not intend for the gap between last episode and this episode to be a week long. That was definitely not my intention and not what I wanted to do, but the roster vaults have not been working. Obviously, the base rosters in this game are really bad. The roster vaults actually still do not work as of when I'm recording this. The other day, I just decided to make my own roster. There's no timetable for when the roster vault is going to be fixed, so I figured I would just do all the changes manually. I would download a lot of the 2020 draft picks off of the player vault, because obviously they are all missing, and I fixed up a lot of the ratings as well. So all the missing prospects and all of the ratings are good for the most part. So all the main 2020 draft picks, obviously Spencer Torkelson of the Tigers, pretty much every first round pick for the most part is in here. There were a few guys not on the player vault, but for the most part, I was able to download all of the main guys. I'm going to show a few of them quickly here. I'm not going to show all of the draft picks, but just some of the main ones who are now in the save file. I also have all of our draft picks in here as well. So obviously the number 2 overall pick, Heston Kjerstad, he is now in the game. And all of the other Orioles draft picks as well from last year's draft. The shortstop, Jordan Westberg. We also have Hudson Haskin, the outfielder. Another shortstop, Anthony Servideo. And at third base, Kobe Mayo. I made all of these players on my own except for Kjerstad. So the other 4 draft picks from our team I made on my own. I also changed up a lot of the ratings. Trey Mancini, I upped his potential from a 76 to an 81. Cedric Mullins, I made him a little bit better. And then around the league as well, I fixed up a lot of the ratings because the ratings were quite bad. Xander Bogaerts, for example, was an 82 overall. In what world is Xander Bogaerts at 82 overall? That is really disrespectful. I'm not a Red Sox fan, but that's just not right. For the most part, I just wanted to up players who have been proven to be good. Outside of Yerman Mercedes and Akil Baddoo, none of these players are rookies who have gotten off to hot starts, and these are just proven players who were disrespected by the game. I did up Mercedes and Baddoo because Mercedes, he's just been raking this year. I felt like I had to. And then as a Tigers fan, I thought it was only appropriate to make Akil Baddoo better. So I have put my roster on the vault. I know pretty much nobody can download it for the most part, but once you can download rosters, I figured I would have it there. It's not perfect. It's definitely not a full minors roster. I imagine there will be better ones, but if you want the same experience that I'm getting for this series, then you could always download it. So after I completed the rosters, I restarted the franchise, but I made sure the results were the same. So we won the same games, we lost the same games. The stats are a little bit different, but what are you going to do? So now that the official rosters that I'm using for this series are in the game, I do plan on going a lot faster. In today's episode, we will be completing all of April. We're going to play 2 games, one against the Mariners, one against the Marlins. So we will start off with a little bit of simulating, as we do only take 1 of 3 in our first home series against the Red Sox. Normally, I would play the home opener, but since we played against Boston last episode, I figured it didn't make a ton of sense to play against them 2 consecutive episodes. And then I simmed the first game of the Mariners series, we do win. So in the first 4 games we simmed today, we go 2-2. And that brings us to the second game of the series against Seattle, which we will play. But before that, I figured to make up for you guys waiting for the past week, I figured I'd make a few trades. These are not big trades, but they are still trades nonetheless. So we're going to make 2 of them. The first one is that we'll be acquiring outfield prospect Corey Ray from the Brewers. He was once a top draft pick, hasn't really developed. We're going to trade a few okay prospects to get him. Corey Ray always killed us last year in our Pirates franchise, so I'm excited to have him on my team rather than on the enemy. For those who didn't know, the Brewers were our main rival in that series, and Corey Ray always did really well. Our second trade of the day will be with the Angels. Again, we're going to be trading 2 decent prospects for a young B potential guy. This is reliever Adrian Almeida. I probably butchered his last name. If I did, I apologize. But I wanted to add some more talent to the farm system. Neither of these 2 guys are elite prospects, but they do have upside to possibly be contributing major leaguers in the somewhat near future. So that's why I went ahead and made those moves. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. We're going to make bigger trades throughout the season, possibly, but since we're only 10 games in, I don't think it makes a ton of sense to really do something crazy. So let's get this game underway. The first played game of the series at beautiful Camden Yards, one of the best ballparks in all of baseball. Both teams will be starting left-handed starting pitchers, so both lineups are situated accordingly. And to be specific, both teams have their aces on the mound. For the Orioles, it's John Means, who's gotten off to a nice start this season. This is his third start. He's 2-0 with a low ERA and a low whip. First batter of the game, Donnie Walton lifts a single into center field, so a nice start here for Seattle. John Means trying to have his third consecutive strong performance as Kyle Seager strikes out on the slider, and then the following batter would ground this one to short, flipped over by Galvis over to Pat Valaika. So Seattle got a couple of base runners there, but were not really able to capitalize. That'll bring us to the bottom of the first as we take a look at Mariners ace Marco Gonzalez, who's not gotten off to quite the start that John Means has, but Gonzalez is doing pretty well. His ERA is solid. He has a whip below 1. Runner on first, 1 out for Ryan Mountcastle. This one is hit high and pretty deep into left field at the track at the wall. It's gone. 2-run blast for Ryan Mountcastle. His second home run of the season, and a quick start here in the bottom of the first for the Orioles as they make it 2-0. That'll bring up Trey Mancini now. Count is full, swinging a miss on the cutter. Marco Gonzalez certainly looking to pick it up after obviously a slow start, allowing a pair of runs. Let's move to the top of the second. Here's the catcher, Tom Murphy. Grounds this one to third. A diving play by Rio Ruiz to get the out. A great play there from Ruiz for the first out of the inning. 2 gone now for Evan White. This one is hit high into straightaway center, nearly at the warning track. Austin Hayes comes down with it. So a good start for John Means. Was a little bit shaky in the top of the first inning, but gets a 1-2-3 inning here. Let's go bottom 2 now. A great play there at the hot corner by Kyle Seager. A nice 1-2-3 inning for Marco Gonzalez. That was Pedro Severino up at the dish. Severino's not gotten off to a great start this season. Top of the third, Donnie Walton with a weak hit. Means unable to get it in time, so a weak infield single for Donnie Walton. And Seattle has a runner on base here with 1 out. The top of the order did a good job of getting on base in the first inning, and now they're doing it here in the third as J.P. Crawford singles into left. Walton stands up to third. And the Mariners now have runners on the corners with 1 out for Kyle Lewis, one of the bright young stars of Major League Baseball, as this one is hit into left center. Hayes comes down with it. Walton will score off of the sac fly, and the Mariners will cut the lead in half. They are now on the board, and it is 2-1. Seager now up, rips it deep into right field. This one going to the warning track, but it will be caught out there and right by Anthony Santander to end the inning, but a pretty good one for the Mariners. They got a few base runners on. They were able to drive in a run, and it is now 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. Speaking of Santander, he strikes out. So back-to-back strong innings for Marco Gonzalez. He started the game off a little bit shaky, allowing the Mountcastle home run, but other than that, he's been great. Let's advance to the 5th inning now. The 4th inning was very uneventful as that one. What was Pat Valaika doing? Valaika was under it. He didn't even try to catch it. Okay, so France will reach first. Following batter, Walton. Again, Valaika cannot field it, and then his throw to first is off. Pat Valaika with a disaster of an inning defensively. That's like 3 bad plays within the span of 2 batters. So Valaika cannot stay in the game, and Ramon Urias will enter at second. Just a disaster there for Valaika. We'll see if the O's can get out of this jam as J.P. Crawford weakly grounds into the pitcher. Good play by Means for the second out of the inning. And then Kyle Lewis, this one popped up into center. Hayes should be under it. So the 2 really bad defensive plays, or I guess I should say the 3 bad defensive plays by Pat Valaika will not cost the Orioles, but it was close. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th now. Rio Ruiz up at the dish, and he will line this one right to third. Another great play by Kyle Seager. The shift proves to pay off, and Marco Gonzalez is dealing at the moment. Severino now swinging a miss on the curveball. That one fooled him low. 4 straight excellent innings for Marco Gonzalez. He is really doing well right now as we go to the 6th. Both pitchers still in the game. Tom Murphy with 2 outs. Grounds this one past the diving gloves of Ruiz and Galvis for a single into center. Means has found himself in a few jams today. He's only allowed 1 run, but the Mariners keep getting runners on base. Here's Shed Lawn with a single into left. This is at least like the 4th time today where Seattle has had multiple runners on base in the same inning. Let's see if they can capitalize here and possibly tie it or take the lead as Evan White, he's just a window shopper because he's just looking. A big strikeout for John Means that will end his day. 6 innings, only 1 earned run. Got a little bit lucky in certain situations, but he did play quite well. Bottom 6 now. The Orioles offense has really been struggling as Jahmai Jones places that one perfectly in the right center gap for extra bases. Rounding second, headed to third, a triple for Jahmai Jones. And with 1 out, the Orioles now have a runner 90 feet away from home and an opportunity to possibly extend their lead. That will bring up Anthony Santander now, the 1-2. This one gets by him for a wild pitch. Jahmai Jones will try to steal home, and he slides safe. Heads up base running there from Jones, and it is now 3-1. So the off pitch by Gonzalez proves to be costly. Anthony Santander would have drove him in anyway as the next pitch he singles into left. So Jahmai Jones technically did not really have to steal home, but still a nice base hit for Santander nonetheless. But it'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle, hit the home run earlier. This one grounded to short. Seattle going to try to turn 2, and they do. 6-4-3, double play for the Mariners. The Orioles do score in that inning, so it is now 3-1. I imagine we're going to see both teams possibly look towards the bullpen here as we enter the final stretches of this one. Sean Armstrong is in for Baltimore. He's had a nice season this year as he gets Ty France to go down fishing for the first out of the inning. 2-away now for Crawford. This one grounded to first, and the play is going to be easily made by Ryan Mountcastle to end the inning, so a nice 1-2-3 frame for Armstrong. No issues there. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, where the Mariners will not make a pitching change. Marco Gonzalez will stay in. We'll see for how long. As here's Trey Mancini, the first batter of the inning. Grounds this one to third. Again, Kyle Seager, who has been outstanding defensively today with yet another play. Rio Ruiz now 1-2. He beats the shift perfectly. That one would have been an out, but instead it will be a double for Ruiz, and the Orioles now have themselves a runner in scoring position. When Ruiz was last up, the shift paid off, but this time it backfires. Casey Sadler will now enter for Gonzalez. His day is done after 6 1/3 innings. Solid performance for Marco Gonzalez, but not enough to have the Mariners on top. 2 away for Galvis. He swings at an awful pitch. I don't know why Freddie Galvis took that one. So that will end the inning. A wasted opportunity there for Baltimore as we go to the 8th. Paul Fry will enter for the O's. He also has not allowed a run yet as the bullpen has been really good this year. Kyle Lewis swings and misses. He swung at that slider way too early. Kyle Seager now. This one crushed into right field. He's had a great game defensively and now is going to try to do some damage offensively. Seager rounding second, head to the third. The throw from Urias is in time. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Hayes to Urias to the third baseman, Rio Ruiz. Aggressive base running there from Kyle Seager, and it definitely does not pay off. Seager probably would have been able to score had he stayed at second as Mitch Haniger hits a single into center field. So the base running blunder from Seager proves to be costly, and Haniger is unable to score as Tom Murphy strikes out. So entering the bottom of the 8th, the Orioles still on top 3-1. They are in cruise control and are going to try to finish this one off strong. Sadler still in for Seattle as he strikes out Pedro Severino on the sinker. Another rough game for Severino. He's just not looking great. And I imagine many Orioles fans are calling for Adley Rutschman to be called up in the near future. Cedric Mullins, who was in as a pinch hitter for Hayes, he will ground out to short. So an easy inning there for Sadler. He pitched well in relief of Gonzalez. And that'll bring us to the top of the 9th inning where we see Cesar Valdez is in for the save. High ERA for Valdez, going to try to pick it up as he will strike out Shed Loin for the first out of the inning on a low slider. Great pitch there by Cesar Valdez. There is Evan White now swinging a miss on the slider as well. The slider from Valdez has been killer. Why not go for the fastball this time on the outside corner? And that will do it. 3-1, a nice win here for Baltimore. They scored 2 runs in the first inning, courteous of a Ryan Mountcastle home run, and the pitching was really good. John Means did a solid job, and the bullpen slammed the door to finish it off. Marco Gonzalez was good, and our offense really was not very impressive today. We only had 5 hits. We had 3 extra base hits, so only 2 singles, which is quite low. Pat Valaika obviously did not have a good game defensively. I know it says that we only had one error, but you guys saw he made 3 bad defensive plays within the span of about 20 seconds. So we get the win there. We're now 7-4. Do I expect the good record to stick around? No, I don't. And as we sim our next 5, we would end up losing 4 of them. So it seems like the Orioles team is coming back down to earth. I do like that we are competitive through the first month of the season. We're only half a game behind the Red Sox in the division, but obviously we know this team isn't ultra talented. They're not going to win a ton of games this year. So I wanted to go to this Marlins series. Shout out to my good friend Franchise Gaming. He has a Marlins series on his channel. And I was more intrigued by the pitching matchup in the first game. Matt Harvey versus Sixto Sanchez. Both teams here are 8-8, so one of us will go over 500 after this game. The other will go under 500. Baltimore mixing up the lineup card, and obviously Matt Harvey has to hit, considering we are at an NL park. So Sixto Sanchez gets the start for the Marlins. He's 0-3 in 3 starts, but he's a 2.33 ERA, so it seems like whenever he pitches, the Marlins just get no run support behind him, which is certainly unfortunate. Cedric Mullins leading things off. He rips a single into right. Mullins is currently hitting below 180. He's not really gotten off to a great start this season, so it is good to see him ripping a base hit. You know who is playing well right now? Anthony Santander has an average of 365 at the moment. He goes down on the 97-mile-an-hour sinker. Yeah, Sixto Sanchez can throw heat. Mountcastle now up. Weekly grounds this one to first. Cooper over to short, and the throw from Rojas is above the glove of the pitcher. Sanchez has to throw it over to second because Mountcastle was on his horse. And the Orioles now have a runner in scoring position for Trey Mancini, who hits this one nicely into right, but it is caught. So the bad throw by Rojas proves to not be an issue. 1 hit, 1 left stranded, no runs scored as we go to the bottom of the first. Matt Harvey is on the mound for the Orioles. Once an elite pitcher, now a castaway on one of the worst teams in the majors, and he's not gotten off to a great start this year. He does strike out John Birdie as we go to the second. 1 on, 1 out for Michael Franco. A bomb over into left center for a 2-run shot, and the Orioles will get on the board first. A beautiful home run by Michael Franco, who's done a great job this year of hitting for contact. His average currently at around 350. Has not hit for a ton of power, but that one was powerful. Not to mention a beautiful bat flip there. 427 feet. It's not like that one barely scraped over the fence. No, that one was an absolute goner. Marlins going to try to do some damage control as Adam Duvall goes down looking on the fastball right down the meat of the zone. Here's Garrett Cooper with 1 out and 1 on. He will single this one into center. Runner will advance to third, so the Marlins now have runners on the corners, and they have an opportunity to get on the scoreboard as well here in the second inning. Jorge Alfaro rips this one to first, deflected by Mountcastle. He's going to try to throw it home. It's a good throw, but the runner is safe. I thought Mountcastle was going to possibly catch that ball and maybe tag the one runner for the double play, but he was unable to catch it. He saw that he had a good throw home, but was unable to take advantage. So there's still only 1 out, 2 runners on for Monte Harrison, who rips this one into the right center gap. Both runs will score. A 2-run triple for Harrison, and all of a sudden, the Miami Marlins are winning, as it is now 3-2. Sixto Sanchez up. He hits this one into center. Productive at bat here for Sanchez. Obviously, he's the pitcher. He can only do so much of a plate, and he will rip the sacrifice fly in to score Harrison, and it is now 4-2. So, a very rough inning for Matt Harvey. He's lucky he had the home run by Michael Franco. Otherwise, this would be a blowout. The next 2 batters would be walked. That'll bring up Starling Marte and an opportunity to extend the lead. This one grounded to Franco. The throw to first is in time, but the Marlins batted around. All 9 hitters got an at-bat. They score 4, leave 2 runners on. A great inning there for Miami as we go to the third inning. Cedric Mullins up. He is 1 for 1. Going to try to make it 2 for 2, and he will be successful. Outrunning the barehanded throw from Brian Anderson. A weekly hit single for Mullins, and that'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle with 1 out. And this time, the Marlins will turn the double play. Last time, they obviously had the bad throw, but this time, it does work out. So nobody is left stranded, and a solid inning of work there from Sixto Sanchez. Bottom 3, first batter, Adam Duvall with a nuke. into straightaway center. A solo shot for Duvall, his second home run of the season. That one went 425 feet. So both home runs in this game, the first one by Franco, the second one by Duvall, just absolute bombs. 2 gone now for Jorge Alfaro. This one grounded to short. Baltimore will make the play, and that will do it for Matt Harvey's day. Pretty rough game for Harvey. He allowed 5 runs in 3 innings. As we go to the 4th, Trey Mancini will hit a single into center field. So a nice little base runner there with nobody out for the Orioles and an opportunity to make this game a little bit closer. That'll bring up Jahmai Jones. He swings and misses on the inside sinker. Great pitch there by Sixto Sanchez for the first down of the inning. Here's Chance Sisco now getting the start behind the dish for Pedro Severino today. He draws the walk. And look at that. The bases are now loaded and 2 outs. A major opportunity for the pinch hitter, DJ Stewart, to crack this game wide open, and he does not. Instead, swinging and missing at the low sinker. So Sixto gets out of a bases-loaded jam, and the score remains 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The long reliever, Adam Plutko, will enter here for the Orioles. He's pitched pretty well so far this season. Going to try to keep his steady play up, and it would be a good inning as he gets the 1-2-3 frame. John Birdie rips that one out to second. So it seems like the pitching change proved to be a good one for Baltimore as we go to the 5th. Cedric Mullins will get his 3rd base hit of the day. Birdie unable to field that one. So Cedric Mullins is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 2 of his singles have stayed in the infield. So great base running from Mullen, great hitting. That will bring up Santander, and the Orioles ground into the double play. So even though Cedric Mullins has 3 singles, he has not gotten past second base once today, which is pretty wild. Bottom of the 5th inning now. Obviously, Plutko remains in the game. Orioles trying to get multiple innings out of them. Starling Marte will swing and miss on the slider. Look at that fish in the background. That is sick. Top 6 now. 2 away from Michael Franco. Swinging and miss. So that will probably end Sixto Sanchez's day. Started off a little bit rocky, but he overall pitched well. 6 innings, only allowed 2 runs, and hey, he cannot get the loss today. His offense has actually given him some run support. Brian Anderson goes down on the outside curveball. Nice pitch from Plutko. Look at that pitch count. He's going to make it through 3 full innings with 29 pitches thrown. That is incredible. Awesome performance here from Adam Plutko. His day would be done. The Orioles could have kept him in longer if they wanted to, but he is scheduled to hit, and I imagine they will want a pinch hitter in at some point. So John Curtis will enter for the Marlins. He will be their first reliever today. He strikes out Ramon Urias for the first out of the inning. Austin Hayes now up. He is the pinch hitter for Plutko, and he singles that one into center. Another pretty poor offensive game from Baltimore other than the home run by Michael Franco and other than the 3 hits by Cedric Mullins. So now with a runner on base, of course, this is when Mullins will decide to have the weak fly out. Jorge Alfaro under it to make the catch. And that will conclude the top of the 7th inning. Miami in control. They are currently up top 5-2. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th as it'll be Tanner Scott in for Baltimore. The lefties had a pretty nice start to the season, not allowing a run yet as he strikes out Monte Harrison. So a good start there to the inning. Runner on now for John Birdie. Birdie will draw the walk. So back-to-back walks here for Miami. Again, that blue fish in the background is frickin' awesome. Miguel Rojas now singles this one into left. The runner will not test the throw, and that proves to be a good decision as it was a great throw. But the bases are now loaded for the meat of the lineup, starting with Starling Marte. Places this one into the right center gap. Mullins unable to field it, so that'll be a base hit for Starling Marte, and it is now 6-2. The bases will remain loaded, by the way. The Orioles will then make a pitching change. They're just going to take Tanner Scott out of the game now, and Hunter Harvey will enter his 9th game of the year. He's pitched pretty well so far, as Adam Duvall crushes it deep into left field. That one has a chance to be a salami. It's not. Great play at the wall by Trey Mancini to make the catch. The runner, John Birdie, will score off of the sacrifice fly, but still a great play from Mancini, possibly saving multiple runs from getting on the board. It is still now 7-2. Brian Anderson hits this one nicely into left. Mancini is under it to get the catch, so a few great plays there from Mancini to keep the game at 7-2. The Orioles are down by 5. Obviously, their offense has not been great, but I suppose this deficit is a lot more manageable than, say, like 10-2. Top of the 8th, Adam Simber will enter for the Marlins. 2 gone here for Trey Mancini. This one could be an infield single, and it's not. A 1-2-3 inning for the side-armed Simber. And that will bring us to the bottom of the 8th inning. Smooth sailing here for Miami. They should finish this one off strong. The Orioles will turn the double play there. So that will end the inning. A quick bottom of the 8th. Great performance by Hunter Harvey ever since he entered. And we'll now go to the 9th. Yimi Garcia is in. He is 0 for 1 on save opportunities. But since it's a 5-run game, this is not a save opportunity. Full count for Franco. That would have been a walk, but he swings and misses the changeup, so a costly decision there by Michael Franco. And this game is going to be down to Freddie Galvis. He enters as a pinch hitter. He swings and misses on the curveball. That'll do it. 7-2 is your final score. A nice win here for the Miami Marlins. They improve to 9-8, and the Baltimore Orioles will go to under 500 as they are now 8-9. Again, our offense was just really not good. We only had one play which we scored, which was the home run by Michael Franco. The pitching was Matt Harvey wasn't good. Tanner Scott wasn't good. But Adam Plutko and Hunter Harvey did really well. Also, shout out to Cedric Mullins. He went 3 for 4. He made his average from like 170 up to 270, which is really impressive. Sixto Sanchez with a strong performance on the mound for the Fish. And then the bullpen did a really good job finishing it off. So we're going to simulate the rest of the month of April here, see how we do, and we ended up actually not doing too shabby. So we finished the month with a record of 13-13, so 500 through 1 month of the year. Do I think we're going to stay at 500 all year? No, I don't. But it is good to see that the team is competitive. We're only a game and a half behind the Blue Jays for first in the division, and only 2 games behind in the wild card race. Are we going to make the playoffs? Probably not, but it is good to see us being competitive. I want to take a look at a few standout performers through the month of April. Anthony Santander's gotten off to a nice start to the season. The power started off slow, but it's starting to come along. He's hitting .337 with an OBP at around 400. His OPS at around 940. Trey Mancini, in his first month back since his cancer treatment, hitting .311 with 4 home runs. The power is slowed down after a good start, but he is hitting great contact and has overall been quite good. The ace of the staff, John Means, is doing pretty well too. ERA at 3. His whip is at around 1.1. And I want to talk about Adley Rutschman real quick. His numbers are really solid. He's only hitting .245, but he's drawing a ton of walks. Has an on-base percentage nearly of 400. OPS above 900. With how bad our catchers have been playing, Adley Rutschman's going to be called up sooner rather than later. And as long as he keeps playing well, he's going to be called up probably within the next couple of months. The 2 players we traded for, Corey Ray and Adrian Almeida, are both doing pretty solid in AAA. The AAA Norfolk Tides are 13-9, tied for first in the division, and the AA season does not start until May. So a lot of our 2020 draft picks, like Heston Kjerstad, they are all in AA, so they will not make their debuts until next episode. We're going to play some minor league action next episode. I think we're going to do 3 games in the next video. 1 for AA, 1 for AAA, and 1 for the majors. We're going to go through all of May next episode, so let me know which major league game you would like to see us play. Maybe that Mets series would be fun, or maybe going over to Washington, or maybe stay at home, play a team like Tampa Bay. Also, here's a look at the draft class, by the way. The draft will be in 2 episodes from now, so not next episode, but for 1 after that. I have a really big draft episode planned. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm happy that the Orioles franchise is back, and it will be very consistent through the next few weeks. I'm super excited to be getting you guys more MLB The Show 21 content, specifically here in the Orioles franchise on the channel. And I think we're going to have a great next few weeks as this series really accelerates. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. And as always, have the good one. Peace out.